Welcome to the Digital Summit discussions that we're having with the technologist on the future of supply chain 2030. Today I'm interviewing Christine Barnhart. Christine works for INFOR, and Christine, you work in the GT Nexus group that's been renamed, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we actually rebranded back in March as INFOR Nexus. So still all the great things that people loved about GT Nexus and Trade Card, but really focusing not just on what we do as a network, but how we really integrate within the broader INFOR ecosystem and how we're really leveraging the cloud suite SaaS model that INFOR has spent a lot of time developing over the years as well.
Now, you've been working with us on the network of networks and quality networks. When you think about 2030, what's the role of the network and how should people think about building infrastructure?
Well, my hope would be that by 2030, everybody is on a quality supply chain operating network. It really is the paradigm shift that's needed to allow multi-party optimization, multi-party orchestration, and it's really what's needed to move businesses forward in terms of, improving both the top line and the bottom line in, improving, risk profiles and in supporting sustainability is, you really need everybody in your ecosystem, all of your trading partners working together simultaneously. And so I think we're close. I think, I see momentum. I'm very excited about the future. And I think organizations like yours, you've been a champion of multi-enterprise business networks for many years. I think you really help make people think about, where they need to go and what's required moving forward.
Well, what have you learned about a quality operating network? Because you used to be a business user at a manufacturer, and now you're in a technology company, and a lot of the work that you were forced to was sort of swivel chair on portals. What have you learned about that journey of building networks?
Yeah, now I would say I'm an evangelist. That's not where I was 9 months ago. I understood that there was something more that was needed. We had 170 portals, so yet another portal when I was at Berry Global, and we knew that that wasn't effective, but I don't think I had an understanding of what it really meant to be part of a network. And now I understand that there's a lot of people that call themselves networks, a lot of different types of networks. Some have a very focused functionality, maybe transportation or logistics. I think for me, what's really important is making sure that your network can really satisfy the needs of the end-to-end supply chain. It's not so functionally specific that you have to be in multiple networks, right? And that's something that INFOR and INFOR Nexus does very well. I think the other thing that is really important that I've learned is different among the various networks is having a single network architecture. So with INFOR Nexus, everybody is in the same cloud network. So whether you're a supplier or a customer, whether you're an LSP, an ocean carrier, everybody's in the same network. And so you log in once and you do all of your business transactions, or you integrate directly, through your enterprise tools, and you're connected to everybody. And that allows us to do some things that are fairly unique. Number one, you don't have multiple logins for multiple types of transactions, multiple logins, depending upon whether you're working with supplier, A or supplier B. But it also allows us then to see what's happening globally across the network, so we can start to apply distributed intelligence and really leverage AI and machine learning in a really powerful way.
Well, what should people talk to you about at the Global Summit? I know you're just full of a lot of ideas. What are you working on in the product that excites you?
Oh, so much. It's crazy. INFOR's had a strategy for several years of doing cloud suites, which were very focused on verticals and micro verticals. And INFOR Nexus has really developed more, kind of vertical agnostic. But one of the things we're doing now is really doing a deep dive into the verticals, discrete versus process, automotive versus industrial versus high tech, to really make sure we understand the unique last mile requirements for those industries and making sure that we account for that within the tool. So the same architecture in terms of, single cloud, but then, making sure that we're accommodating those things that are really unique to a specific industry. And so I'm really excited about that. I think that's going to, that understanding combined with what we're doing with Coleman AI and our dynamic science labs will yield some just incredible things over the next couple of years.
Well, thank you for your work on the Network of Networks as well, because that's on the Friday agenda. And we've been doing a lot of work there to think about quality blockchains, quality operating networks, trading partner index. What have you learned through that Network of Networks work?
The Network of Networks is why I ended up at INFOR. It really challenged me to think differently and to challenge, what I knew about supply chain. And so working within the context of that group has really been, eye-opening for me. I've been co-leading the Quality Supply Chain Operating Network program. And what I learned is that all networks were not created equal. And there's a lot of marketing spin and hype and buzzwords, but, fundamentally, some networks really solve broader challenges than others and provide better opportunity. And so we're really trying to quantify that, really understanding, how interoperable is this network? Can you demonstrate that? How geographically diverse is your footprint? Because you know what, being able to speak the language of your customer and of your supplier, it's really important, right? How diverse are the industries that you can support? Because, if you don't speak the language of that customer, you're just going to struggle. So, we've got a number of different things that we're looking at there to really try to, numerically to some extent, try to show and demonstrate, what do you need in a network? And these are the things that are important based on that.
Well, you've been to the Global Summit, 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, something like that. It just seems like yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Tell us a little bit about your summit experience and what you've learned.
I always have a great time at the Global Summit. It's my favorite event of the year for a couple of reasons. I think one is you always pick interesting places and are able to tie in, various events and activity in that location that really support the theme of the summit, overall. Beyond that, I think it's one of the few forums that allows really deep interaction, really rich conversations and dialogue. So, we're constantly changing tables and we're doing group exercises and, we're getting to know each other. And getting to know, really start to delve into what are the challenges, what are the issues, giving each other ideas. I'm just always really energized when I get done with the Global Summit.
Well, awesome. Well, Christine, thank you for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you at the summit.
Yeah, I can't wait. Just a couple weeks.
I know. Take care. Bye now.
Yeah, bye.